Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I come to you on Thursday morning before an afternoon of writing my dissertation, and I want to start off today by thanking everybody who engaged with my very first BookTube video and welcomed me so kindly to the community. I feel really grateful and affirmed in my decision to start my channel after years of hesitation. I have a few videos planned for the coming week, like a recent reads video and a book tag, but today I come to you with a small book haul from my local Little Free Library. I am lucky enough to have a Little Free Library in my neighborhood, and often when taking evening walks, I'll peer inside and see what catches my eye. So over the past month, I have found 3 particularly interesting books that I want to share with you today. The first of these books is by Harold Bell Wright and is entitled The Shepherd of the Hills. This is a novel from 1907, and this edition is from 1970. And from what I've gathered from some cursory research, this novel is about a community of people in the Ozark Mountains in the United States. The front flap offers a pretty enticing description. To the beautiful Ozark Hill Country comes a man from the world of cities. Among the people of the district, with their simple, direct ideals and way of life, he finds the peaceful atmosphere he craves, while his more intellectual philosophy and character come to be valuable elements in the lives of his new friends. The description then goes on to promise gripping situations and thrilling incidents. So when I get to this, I'm curious to see if its depiction of life in the Ozarks is more idyllic or more disillusioning or somewhere in the middle. I was also interested to see from my research that this novel was so popular that it drew tourists to the town of Branson, Missouri, in the southern part of the state. Now, Branson today, if you've heard of it, is a really big tourist destination. And having not been to Branson myself, I didn't know that literary tourism played such a major role in Branson's history, which provides me with further incentive to check out this book. Now, a few weeks after finding Harold Bell Wright's The Shepherd of the Hills, I came across this volume. This is John Roy Carlson's Undercover. Now, what stood out to me in the Little Free Library is the orange hardcover of this book. And when I opened it up and looked at the title page, I was not disappointed. This book has one of the longest subtitles I have ever seen. So when you open it up, you find the title, Undercover, and then our lengthy subtitle, My 4 Years in the Nazi Underworld of America, the amazing revelation of how Axis agents and our enemies within are now plotting to destroy the United States. So of course I had to take this home and look it up. And what I found is that this is a journalist's investigation of subversive activity in the early 1940s, of course, during World War II. And John Roy Carlson is a pseudonym for a journalist named Arthur Derunian. I also learned that this is one of the top best-selling nonfiction books of 1943 in the US. At least according to the trade journal Publishers Weekly. This particular volume is the 20th printing of Undercover from November 1943. The fact that this book had 20 printings in the first 6 months of its publication is definitely evidence that it was popular among readers. I am much more familiar with the fiction of the 1940s, and I have more to learn about the nonfiction of the decade. So perhaps this work will be a good entry point. As a final note, I'll show you the end papers of this volume. which are evidently facsimiles of the membership cards and buttons that our journalist acquired during his investigation. A lot of interesting stuff there. I'm excited to get to this one. And finally, I'm going to show you this battered copy of Bartlett's Familiar Quotations from 1958. So despite the condition of the dust jacket, which you can see right here, I was drawn to the contents of this volume. So of course we have the quotations, beginning with the Holy Scriptures, and we also have some marginalia from the previous owner. So for instance, next to the quotation from Ecclesiastes, "Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher, all is vanity," they have left a hearty checkmark. And then later on, next to a quotation from Lord Lyttelton from the 18th century, they have left a note, "How true," with an exclamation point. And I'll just read that short quotation to you. "Where none admire, it is useless to excel. Where none are beaux, it is vain to be a belle." And that is from Lyttelton's soliloquy on a beauty in the country. I love these little glimpses into another reader's impressions of the book whenever they happened to read this themselves. But I was also intrigued to find a little piece of ephemera in this book. This is a newspaper or magazine clipping, and it has a poem on it, which I will read to you. The poem has a little bit of a lead up. "I am also a great lover of poetry, especially a verse in this classic pattern." And then the verse itself reads, "The love of a beautiful maid, the love of a staunch, true man, the love of a baby unafraid, has existed since time began. But the greatest love, the love of loves, even greater than that of a mother, is the tender, infinite, passionate love of one drunken bum for another." So I'll leave you with that little entry in Poetry Thursday, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you, everyone.